Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to another pay-per-view on our TNA Throwback series. We're finally at Destination X, and hopefully we're going to go ahead and have a very strong pay-per-view here for TNA, and slowly continue to build the momentum that the company had back then. Before we jump into the show, as always, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It's deeply appreciated. Any feedback is deeply appreciated. How you found TNA in general at this time? Were you a fan back then? Have they went sour on them since? And yeah, just in general, any TEW comments regarding your own saves as well. Let us know how you're getting on. Again, any shares, subscriptions, all deeply appreciated. Remember, every Thursday we'll be getting these videos, and as I say, going forward, it's going to be every Tuesday for This Week in WWE, Sunday for the WWE 2021 save, even though it did start back in 2016, so it's been going a while. And yeah, without further ado, let's crack on with the show. So we've got 5,438 fans at the Century Bank Arena in Florida. Decided to go to a different arena, still within the same region, just purely because more fans are turning up for the pay-per-views, so that made sense. So we had two pre-show matches. The first one was a showcase of some of our X Division talent. And it was a decent pre-show match that saw Chris Sabin defeat the debuting Funaki, Austin Aries, and Alex Shelley in 8:45 when Sabin defeated Funaki by pinfall, D41. A decent opener here. Funaki will be putting people over. It's fairly obvious that's going to be the case. Actually has a decent in-ring performance compared to the rest of them, but there's no point in pushing someone like that. He's got to be here to help, basically be a player coach role, effectively. No worker improvements, and few negatives here, but this was made a storytelling match. Few people low morale because of the lack of use on television. And in a pre-show match, we also had ODB in a match against Sara Del Rey, and Sara Del Rey picks up the win in 6:02 by submission. So she looks as dominant as ever. A D41, good performance, and both coming across pretty decent. Again, storytelling match, just again putting that over. On to the main show, and we start the show with our hype video of our feuds. And it's Mike Tenay and Don Westwood greeting us. Mike Tenay says, "Welcome all TNA fans and welcome to Destination X. What a show we've got planned for you tonight." Don West replying, "That's right, Mike. I cannot wait. Every title is on the line. Sting and Abyss, Christian Cage versus Raven, and of course we've got Samoa Joe's mystery opponent." To which Mike Tenay says, "Speaking of mystery opponents, let's hit ringside as that match is going to start us off." So D+51, just to show off their strong start, it gets the crowd hotter. Samoa Joe makes his way to the ring, and we find out who his opponent's going to be. Samoa Joe's in the ring. He's pacing around, he's waiting for this mystery opponent. We hear some old familiar music, and it's former WWF and ECW star Jerry Lynn. So he's looking again to capture the X Division Championship after a small hiatus from the company. So I saw he was on the roster. I believe he did make a small kind of comeback at this time. If I'm sure, I'm not 100% on that. But D47, somebody else to give a good challenge to Samoa Joe and got the crowd hotter. Jerry Lynn underperformed, with Samoa Joe coming across as a badass. Match itself was decent, and Samoa Joe defeats Jerry Lynn in 13:32 by illegally using the ropes for leverage, so not as easy as Samoa Joe would have liked it to have been, but he makes the 7th defence of the X Division Championship. So a C-58, Joe with a better performance, but overall someone who'll put Samoa Joe over, and yeah, very happy with that opening contest. Next up, we've got promos from Team 3D. Brother Ray says, "Me and my brother Devon have been around this business for a long time, so a lot of tag teams come and a lot of tag teams go. Taking on many challenges, some big, some small. Tonight's represents another challenge on the Truth Killings and Monty Brown and America's Most Wanted. Two exceptionally good tag teams, but they lack that one key ingredient that we have in abundance: experience. We've got the experience of the big matches when that pressure's on, and we have the trust of each other when the big matches happen." These two teams, not so much. So guys, get ready, as those titles are coming home with Team 3D. Devon, every promo Devon will ever cut for me in any company, oh my brother, testify. But C-56, it continues their storyline just so I can get storylines over the line to start afresh after the pay-per-view. But yeah, it's fairly decent from Team 3D. The match itself was decent, and it saw Monty Brown and Ron the Truth Killings defeat Team 3D and America's Most Wanted in 1408. First to be eliminated was America's Most Wanted, then it was Team 3D, meaning that Monty Brown and R-Truth, or Ron Killings as should be known as, have made their second defence of the World Tag title. So a D plus 49's not great. Gail Kim doing some good work at ringside. Ron the Truth Killings off his game, and you can see everyone there is kind of that same level, mid 40s to probably I'd say high 50 in terms of rating. In all honesty though, we do want to try and get the 4 younger guys up there with Team 3D. Negatives, we did have to protect brother Ray because he wasn't happy putting people over, but we made him look strong. Next up, decent matchup. AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels defeated Hernandez and Homicide, LAX, in 11:55 when AJ Styles defeated Hernandez with a double underhand faceplant. C63 is very impressive considering both AJ and Hernandez were off their game, and 2 good performances from the babyface team. It does continue the storyline, but as I say, we are going to end it there. LAX will move on to different things. It was to put on a good matchup that would do the business. Daniels improving performance skills, minimal negatives. Crowd then goes wild as we get a special entrance with lasers everywhere. It's the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy getting introduced for his match tonight, so that's a C-58. And his match was decent, and it saw Jeff Hardy defeat Petey Williams in 6:57 with a front flip senton. D plus 51's pretty poor. I was hoping for a bit better from these two, especially the thing that they've got great chemistry, which I didn't know. Petey Williams is off his game, so you maybe could have seen that sneak into a C- if you're lucky. But overall, gets Jeff Hardy on the card and gets him a victory. Next up, in a good matchup, we had Bryan Danielson defeat Kip James in 11:44 with a full Nelson suplex. So it's a C plus 69. Actually, pretty good chemistry between these two, which was surprising. Danielson up to 76 in terms of in-ring performance, far better than Kip James, so I may look at really pulling the trigger on Danielson. He's already at that level. Danielson, well, it says we made him tap out. We'll just say that won by submission. And now BG James is trying to attack Danielson. Although as he does that, Danielson gets him in a drop toe hold. BG James is down, and Danielson has locked in his submission maneuver onto him. BG is tapping, and now Kip's running back into the ring. Danielson notices this, releases the hold, and he slides under the ropes to get to safety. It shows that Bryan Danielson is one dangerous SOB. So a C-58, he's managed to outsmart the 2 heels of the James Gang, or whatever we'll call them, Voodoo Kin Mafia. But the former New Age Outlaws have been outsmarted by the younger Bryan Danielson. We have a hype package playing for our co-main event of the evening, Sting versus Abyss. It documents Sting's tenure on the TNA roster so far, and his many shortcomings and big matches. We see Raven's promo too, which is also doubting Sting as we prepare for this big match. So D plus 51 for that. The match itself had good heat and decent wrestling. Sting finally gets his win over Abyss in 12:29 by pinfall to C-57. Sting with a better performance than Abyss. The initial plan was actually to have Abyss go over and have Sting do a kind of have I still got it storyline, but he was very hesitant in putting Abyss over, and I just felt like, cool, we'll let Sting win and we'll go in a completely different direction. Then leading up for our main event for weeks now, Raven has run his mouth that this place is just his own personal playground, and it's going to be a mere formality that he becomes the new NWA TNA Heavyweight Champion. You can bring Abyss, you can bring those lackeys Stephen and Douglas, it doesn't matter. I've had people doubt me all my life, and I showed them last month that I will give everything to show that I truly deserve to continue to be the NWA TNA heavyweight champion. That is, of course, Christian Cage with a promo just saying he's been doubted all his life. Obviously, we know Vince wasn't a massive fan of him, but since coming to TNA, he's shown that he is the man. That was a B77, good promo from Christian Cage. And the main event was about to had some good heat and decent wrestling. We saw Christian Cage defeat Raven in 13:38 by pinfall. During the matchup, we had run-ins for Raven by Stevens and Douglas, but it didn't affect Christian Cage as he makes his first NWA World Heavyweight title defence. So C60 is not bad. As I say, Raven was off his game there. No proper storyline attached to it because these two guys will go their separate ways, and with it being less than 16 minutes, we don't need to worry about story linked to it as much. But overall, pretty happy with that. Raven, inconsistency, stamina, declining physical ability is quite worrying. And we end the show, somehow, some way, with all the odds stacked against him, Christian Cage has retained the championship and the crowd goes mad for him. So C63, Christian remains your champion. So overall, there weren't enough attractive women on the show to satisfy your core male audience. Now this is annoying because I was hoping it would have given us one to Sarah Del Rey and ODB. Apparently not. And of course the only other female to have appeared in the show would have been Gail Kim, who would have counted in that managerial role or valet role for AMW. So a bit annoying there. That's probably took a bit off the overall rating. But we have increased our pop in 11 regions. So I might need to look at bringing in more valets. I might even just need to look at bringing in more attractive females, just purely on the basis of this mod's been quite harsh towards, something like Sarah Deli, who she's alright, I don't see any issues with her, but as I say, it's just the way the game's rated her, unfortunately. But we'll carry on into the main screen. Let's just give props to Jeff Hardy to keep him happy, Sting, and we'll go with Katie Williams. So you can see with the match ratings we got there, a lot of them have got a long way to go, but it does always take, with any save, a bit of time to figure out what works. And as I say, once you're getting some people down the card and some people up the card, you realise somebody like Bryan Danielson, give him probably even by Bound for Glory, and he could be looking at like 99 rating, 95, whatever ratings. As I say, it really is possible. So the buy rate was less than 0.01 there. Let's just quickly take a look at the user stats. Yep, so every pay-per-view has been the exact same, so it's a long way to go with TNA, but as I say, it's nothing that's going to improve until we get the company up to cult, and then from there. So that's cool. That's going to obviously improve after every single impact. It's really just a game of patience. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy. A 4-week build to lockdown. Whether or not we'd every match in a cage, I don't know. I know that was how the lockdown gimmick was. We might just do a main event, but it's going to give me a bit of time to put together, as I say, hopefully new storylines, different card, and we'll look to bring in some attractive females to pass that once and for all, maybe even start our knockouts division. So just watching, guys. As I say, let me know how you felt the show went, if you are happy with it. If you've started a TNA save in this particular mod, how have you booked it, which way have you went, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you next time for TNA Impact. See you later, enjoy the rest of your day.